Welcome in, everyone. My name is Sam. This is another episode of the Rush Hockey Podcast. Today, we're going to preview the Carolina Hurricanes coming to the City of Champions to take on the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are 2-4 to start the season, and the Carolina Hurricanes are 2-2. We're going to see what happens here. This game is all about the Edmonton Oilers getting a strong start. The Oilers have shown in the last game that they can play with the best of them, but Dallas kind of took over that last game. But the Oilers this game need to have a strong start, but they also need to have consistency throughout the game. That means playing for the full 60 minutes. The next thing that the Oilers need to focus on this game is finding a way to jumpstart that power play. Now, the power play has historically been one of the best power plays in the league over the last 4 or 5 years, and they are a great power play. No disrespect to any players that are on there, but a change needs to happen, and the Oilers need to find a way to just figure it out. So whether Coach K decides to lead the same 5 guys on the first unit or switch it up, something's got to give. We have to find a way to jumpstart that power play in order for us to be successful. That was by far where we got the majority of our goals last year and in the playoffs, is that strong special teams. Speaking of special teams, the penalty kill. Oh my goodness. I don't know what is happening with this penalty kill. It is at the last spot amongst all the other team. It is the worst penalty kill in the entire league. I know. It's only 6-7 games, whatever it is. The Oilers need to find a way to figure out that penalty kill and maybe not bleed some goals while they are a man down and maybe stay a little bit more disciplined. But let's go ahead and take a look at the lineups that we're going to be expecting for today, and then we'll get into the tail of the tape for both teams before we get started. So for the Edmonton Oilers, they're going to make a switch. They're going to go back to their top line with Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Zach Hyman. On the second line, they're going to put Jeff Skinner, Leon Draisaitl, and Victor Arvidsson. Derek Ryan actually moves up to the third line with Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark. I don't know why. I feel like Adam Henrique belongs there. But Adam Henrique is going to man the fourth line with Corey Perry, who actually has been playing lights out to start the season. Nobody expected that, but for $1.4 million, I'll take it. It's worth every dollar. I think he's playing pretty good. Obviously, we can't rely on Corey Perry, but, he's playing good. I'll take it. And Podkolzin, the goals aren't coming, the points aren't there, but you know what? He is playing hard, and I'm excited to see how he continues on with this lineup. On the defensive side, we see a little bit of a change. Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard are going to be your consistent number one, number two. It's the second pairing that's kind of made me question what was going on. But Darnell Nurse is going to be moving over to the right side, and Travis Dermott is going to step in place of Troy Stecher. I really actually do like Troy Stecher. Troy Stecher is a phenomenal defensive partner for Darnell Nurse, and even though he's a little undersized, I feel like the chemistry has really worked out between those two. And I've seen Darnell Nurse actually pick up his game since playing with Stecher. Brett Kulak and Ty Emberson are going to round out the final two defensemen for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm surprised by Ty Emberson. He's doing pretty well. I mean, he's not going to be our long-term solution, but he's doing pretty well, and I like to see what we're getting from that CC trade. My projected starter for today is going to be Stuart Skinner, and then Calvin Pickard would be backing him up. I don't see it happening any other way. This is a home game. The Oilers need to get into it, and they need to get into it quickly. Looking at the Carolina Hurricanes, their lineup looks stacked to the limit. They do have the offensive capability, led by Sebastian Aho and Svechnikov and Jarvis. These guys are all talented players, and they can put pucks into the net. That third line of Jordan Staal, William Carrier, and Martin Hook, they have been surprising teams in the past, and I don't doubt that they'll surprise teams moving forward into this season. They have the opportunity to score those goals, to really drive the play for this Carolina Hurricanes team, and we just have to be careful. This team plays absolute team defense, and they shut down their opponents. We're going to look at the tail of the tape, and I'll show you exactly why we need to be afraid. On their defensive side, they have Slavin and Burns, who have been consistently good hockey players, good defensemen. We have Gostisbehere and Walker, who is a huge free agent signing by the Hurricanes. And then we round it out with Orlov and Chatfield. Frederik Andersen is my projected start for net, backed up by Kochkov. Sorry if I screwed up that name. So let's get into it. The tail of the tape for both of these two teams. If you look at Edmonton's position and their stats, they're not considered one of the best teams, and they're supposed to be one of the best teams. Let's start off with their shots per game. Their shots per game ranks 8th amongst all NHL teams. Their face-off percentage, they are number 1, so they can win the face-offs, which I remember for many, many years we had struggles trying to win the face-off. But now we're number 1 in the league. That's due in part to us having Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Derek Ryan, Adam Henrique. They can all win faceoffs, so that should be consistent. Our power play percentage, not the worst in the league, but 30th, and that's not acceptable. The Oilers need to find a way to ramp that up. Like I said earlier, the penalty kill, abysmal, 55%. That's last in the league. There's no excuse for that. The Oilers need to find a way to clean up their game, be a little bit more disciplined, and if they go on the penalty kill, they need to find a way to kill that off effectively. Our goals we're tied for 28th, 29th with Carolina with 12. Our goals against, we are first in the league for allowing the most goals. And guess what? We are tied with the Florida Panthers. I'm excited about that. So maybe we're going somewhere right. I don't know. But we have 2 wins and 4 losses. And as for Carolina, their shots per game, they are 32.5. They're 5th in the league for the amount of pucks they put on net. They're 14th in terms of face-off percentage. They're 9th in terms of power play percentage at 25%. They are 12th with an 83.3% on the penalty kill. So if the Oilers power play needs that jump start, this is going to be a tough task. They are going up against a top 12 team in terms of penalty kill. So we'll see what the Oilers can do there. And as I said earlier, the goals for are tied, and they are 11th in terms of goals against. So they do play a pretty sound defensive game, and they don't allow too many goals. I know it's only a small sample size for them playing only 4 games, and anything can happen, especially if they're playing in Edmonton, and Edmonton erupts for 8, 9 goals. I have no idea. But the Oilers need to find a way to play proper team consistent games. Okay, the Oilers, in order for them to be successful, they need to show the NHL why they are championship material. The Oilers need to win this game. It is going to be a lot of pressure for the Oilers because if they go down 2-5, I mean, it'll be almost similar to last year when we were 3-9-1, and I don't think any Oilers fans out there want that. So, Oilers, let's try to win this game and maybe go up to 3-4, and then little by little we can work our way, because after this game, guys, after the first game, there are no games that get easier along the way. The more games that we played up to Christmas and even past Christmas, the better the teams are going to get. So we're hoping for the Oilers to actually showcase a little bit of that dominance that we have seen flashes of, and especially in that Dallas game where they were really taking over until something tragic happened. But maybe if that requires a fight for the Edmonton Oilers, they can get into a fight. I have no idea. But I hope to see you guys after the game. Thank you for all the likes, the subscribes, the shares, the follows, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that notification bell and make my day. I don't know. But I will see you guys after the game.